The poor little dear must have had a terrible time among the Satanists to have reacted that way to a simple baby bath, Kyoso's adoptive mother thought as she would tuck the tyke's feet into the infant-style sleeping bag with long sleeves and a zippered bag for her torso and legs beneath her waist. Her adoptive mother would carefully work the cotton mittens over the infant's hands so she wouldn't scratch herself with her sharp baby nails while she was sleeping. Then she would switch on the battery-powered mobile with multiple levels of miniature winged angels whose piezoelectric speaker sang lullaby-like hosannas in God's praise that had been recorded in its ROM. Since her mother would feed her before giving the baby her bath, the baby would sleep through the night without further incident. Even the most pleasant of pleasures of babyhood would become a frightening foreshadowing of the foulness and evil that awaited her at her death. She would know no pleasure in her life, only pain, grief and sorrow. Her belief in her eternal damnation into the foulest place that her inventive mind could imagine would ensure that her life would be a living hell for Kyoso. Thus, the coven punished foolish and disobedient members that it discovered within its own bosom. With a motion from her hand, Becky caused her minions to disperse to their appointed duties. She felt badly about losing a promising apprentice, but then, that was the way of the world. There will be others, she thought as she wrapped her cloak around her and dissolved into the last mist of the early morning. The next morning, Andrew gurgled happily as a beam of sunlight bore its way through the closed curtains and struck the crib sheet. The crib had a light air feel with turned white spindles around all sides so he could see everything in the room from where he sat in his crib. To protect him, there was a 1-inch thick padded bumper tied to the bottom of the rails on each of the 4 sides of the crib so he wouldn't slip his arms and feet between the spindles as he slept. The room was bright and cheery with a matching white furniture against light powder blue walls with contrasting white woodwork. Circumscribing the nursery, there was a decorative, baby blue, 8-inch wide strip of plastized wallpaper border set at waist height with small pictures of Winnie the Pooh gambolling with his friends Eeyore and Piglet. All the way around the room, everywhere he looked, there was something pleasant and homey to delight him. The floor of the nursery was neatly picked up, with all of his toys in the large toy box that sat underneath the windowsill. Next to his toy box stood his Walker activity chair with baby blue cushions with small white polka dots. In the corner of the room, where his beloved mommy had fed him before tucking him in the night before, was a large white painted wooden rocking chair with a receiving blanket draped over the back of the chair. Directly across from his crib was a matching white, sturdy open-shelved style diaper changing table with its shelves stocked high with diaper changing necessities. Even the tall white diaper pail sitting beside the changing station had a brown teddy bear face on the side of the pail smiling lovingly back at Andrew. Teddy bears seemed to abound in his new nursery. The drapes were navy blue light-proof flannel, so he could take naps even in the brightest sunshine, with a teddy bear motif that matched the rest of the room. Over his crib hung a Winnie the Pooh mobile and a Winnie the Pooh night lamp sat next to the clear acrylic container full of bulb-type pacifiers that he loved so much on top of the 4-drawered dresser next to his crib. Andrew could never remember being happier in his life. He snatched at the sunbeam as his mommy came through the door to change him and give him his breakfast. Forgetting the ray of sunshine, his face lit up as Allie walked into the room and cooed a good morning to her little baby boy. Andrew reached his arms up and waited to be taken into the warmth and comfort of his mommy's bosom. She patted the bottom of his dirty diaper gaily and said, "My, mommy's baby is more than a little poopy this morning, isn't he? Let's get little Andy into a clean diaper and then he can have his breakfast." "Okay, sweetie pie." Andrew gurgled his total agreement and let her take care of the cleanup of his crotch and bottom before she sat down with him in the rocking chair and opened her blouse. She was so thankful that Kyoso had suggested that she see her gynecologist and ask for medications to begin nursing before she adopted little Andy. By the time she got him home from the mall, her breasts were full of milk and he was hungry. At first he had seemed hesitant, but after she had brushed his cheeks with her fingertips and then stroked the side of his face with her inch-high erectile nipple, his face had turned toward her and taken the teat in his mouth. The feeling that had passed between them at the moment of his first suckling had bound the two of them together for life. When the first jet of warm milk hit the back of Andrew's throat and made its way to his tummy, Andrew forgot his previous life and concentrated on the reality of the mother's love that was before him. He knew instinctively that she would care for him for the rest of his life. He had no worries or responsibilities. Andrew had finally found the proper woman to love, nurture and care for him for the rest of his life, his mommy.